Writing, I watched my neighbor digging behind our apartment building every night until police finally arrived. The flashlight beam hit my bedroom window again at 2:13 a.m. I remember the exact time because I had work in 4 hours and had already been awake most of the night listening to the rain tapping against the air conditioner. At first I thought someone was stealing car parts again from the parking lot behind our apartment building, but when I pulled the curtain back slightly, I saw my downstairs neighbor kneeling beside the fence with a shovel. Again, this had been happening for almost 2 weeks. He always wore the same dark hoodie and work gloves. He would dig for 20 or 30 minutes, stop suddenly whenever headlights passed nearby, then cover the hole carefully before going back inside. I told myself to ignore it because people in our building already acted strange enough. One woman on the second floor believed cameras were hidden inside smoke detectors. Another guy screamed at delivery drivers through his window every afternoon. Still, I could not stop watching. His name was Victor, mid-40s maybe, quiet, smelled like cigarettes and motor oil whenever we crossed paths near the mailboxes. He lived alone except for an old brown dog that barked constantly through the walls. 3 nights later, I came home from work early because my manager sent me home sick. I had a fever, and my body felt heavy. As I walked past Victor's door, I noticed it was cracked open slightly. The dog was whining inside. I knocked once and pushed the door open just enough to check if everything was okay. The apartment smelled rotten immediately. Not like garbage. Worse. The dog kept circling near the kitchen. Victor was sitting at the table staring at nothing with bloodshot eyes and dried dirt on his boots. He looked exhausted, like he had not slept in days. He asked me whether I ever thought people could disappear without anybody noticing. I remember freezing right there beside the doorway. I laughed nervously because I thought he was joking, but he kept staring at me without blinking. Then he suddenly apologized and said he was drunk. I left almost immediately. That night, I could not sleep at all. Around midnight, I looked outside again and saw him digging behind the building with twice as much energy as before. The rain had turned the dirt into mud around his knees. At one point, he stopped digging and just sat there breathing hard with both hands covering his face. I almost called the police then. Instead, I waited until the next afternoon and searched his name online during my lunch break. That was when I found an old news article from another state. 10 years earlier, Victor's younger sister disappeared after leaving a bar with him. No charges were filed. The case eventually went cold. I felt sick reading it. That evening, I finally called the police non-emergency line. I sounded ridiculous explaining it. A man digging holes at night, weird comments, old article online. Even while talking, I kept thinking maybe grief or paranoia was making me dramatic. 2 officers came the following morning. By sunset, the entire parking lot behind our building was locked with police tape. They dug in the exact area I had watched for nights through my window. I still remember the moment one officer removed his gloves slowly and looked away from the hole. The body belonged to Victor's dog. The vet later confirmed the animal had been dying from cancer